What is up, guys? We got a top 64 deck list here for Whitebeard, and what is your name?
My name, you guys know me as Vampire Gaming. I'm Jacoby, and I played Edward Newgate.
All right. What inspired you to play Newgate?
So I really, honestly, I was playing Gecko. I've seen some results with Gecko. I have 2 top 32s with Gecko so far, and I've done really well. But I was like, the most stressful thing about playing is the Gecko mirror. And I was like, I just want to switch things up, and I'd never top with Newgate. A lot of y'all might know me as the ace guy, but I never had a top with the old man, so I figured I'd try for that.
Yeah, I mean, you did really well with this list, and was that inspired by anybody in particular?
So actually, so funny enough, so it's the same list as the guy who got first place, but my friend Ryan Tenney, who's Superman on Whitebeard, he just got top 8 at Peoria, and I was like, that same weekend I got top 32 with Gecko, but I had considered playing Newgate that weekend, and I was like, you know what, I was like, I'm gonna play Newgate. I was like, I probably won't play any mirrors, and it's actually really strong into a lot of things, but I don't think it's great once red, purple, or black, yellow Luffy comes out. So Ryan, he got top 8 at Peoria, and I was like, you know what, I was like, honestly, he's like my rival in One Piece. We have similar results. He has more than I do, so I was like, you know what, let me prove that I can do it with Newgate too. Really just drove the inspo behind this.
Yeah, I mean, you did really well. Out of, 9 rounds, you only lost twice. So that's pretty good, I would say.
I did. Yeah, I went to the last round. I was 8-1. Round 1, I actually lost to Katakuri because they casinoed. When going for lethal, their last life was Sanji and Brule. Oh. And so that just felt really bad. And nothing I could do with it. And then just lost in the finals. Turns out, as you see, 3 Moria and Gecko are in Sokka. It's really good, so.
Yeah. Okay, let's check out your list.
Yeah, so standard searchers, we played 4 Ezo, we played 4 Marco, 3 Ace. I could see you wanting to play 4, but it does gum up your hand just a little bit, so you gotta be careful with those. Because there's been a couple instances where my opponent just swung all in. I was technically 1K away from like winning, because I would just lose. And so I was just like, please just don't swing all in, and it just happened to work out. And then 3 Newgate. I could also see an argument for 4 of these. I didn't see him in my last round, and he would have been huge on curve, so unfortunate on that side as well. But really good. If I was going to up a card, it would either be this or Ace. And then, of course, 4 Marco. Still strong into anything that is not black or blue. Bottom decking is unfortunate, so he's pretty much just counter. Same with blocker Marco. But then, of course, the 2Ks. We're playing Jozu, and that's it for the Whitebeard Pirate side. And then on the Straw Hat side, we're playing 4 Nami. Great searcher. Get you your Luffy. Get you Robin, which also would have run me the game. Played 2 Sanji of the Rusher. This card did come up a couple times. He's a nice counter, but sometimes if you just don't have Luffy and you're going second, applying that pressure's there. Also going first, if you don't have Ace, you can play this and swing 7. If you don't want to waste your Luffy, 4 Sanji, the 2K, never came up. You can play him on 2 and then like do a crazy play on 4. If you play like blocker Marco against something that can't out him, but he just was counter all day. Nico Robin, I never got to get the full value out of this card. I trashed it at one point against Awakened TCG because he milled 2 Rebecca. He was playing Rebecca Gecko. And so I trashed it and then forgot you could Gecko it back, and I was like, oh, I probably should have held this. Nice. Just for the removal. So that happened, and then in my last round when I needed it most, did not come up. So we love to see it. And then we also have the GOAT for Rush Luffy. I think this is the main reason to play this card. When people get used to turtling up and then you do this, if I play this and they're low on resources and I push an unblockable swing, if they cannot remove this, and assuming that they have to swing into it, if they have to swing into it, if this would die, I would die.
Yeah.
And so if I have enough counter to live, he will live. And so they have to have cards to remove it. Otherwise, you can like hit that last life, and then they have to go for game, or efficiently remove this and put themselves in a position where they don't lose. So very strong. I think it's the #1 reason. I mean, I've always loved this card. When I played Ace, I was like, you gotta play for Luffy. This card steals games.
Yeah, it's a burn card.
It's a good card. It's a good card. Even black and yellow Luffy, 9K leader. You stick one of these on the board, then you go 16. Like, they have to have counters. So a lot of opportunity there, but big fan of this card. And then for the last 2Ks for Makino.
Okay. How many 2Ks was that?
I played
right?
16. 16. Okay. Yeah, I played this, Jozu, Sanji, and who else?
Otama?
No. You know what? Maybe I only played 12. That's a great question. I thought I was playing 16. Yeah, I only played 12.
Okay, that's still good.
12 2Ks.
Yeah, you want some offense anyways.
And then for the events, I played 1 Bad Manners Kick Course, 3 Guard Point. Played this just because you get a ton of these sometimes, and you don't always have the Dawn to make efficient plays and use these unless you like absolutely have to. So sometimes this card is just nice because there was some instances where I had like 4 Guard Points in my hand, and I would only leave like 2 Dawn up, and if they don't swing in a way I can use it, I probably didn't play these super efficiently. Considering that, and of course 4 Radical Beams.
So any reason why you only want to play 1 Bad Manners Kick Course, and do you think you want to change that ratio?
So I mean, again, I think there's slight flex depending on what you want to play. I think 1 is fine. I could see 2. There were instances where if I had 1, it could have been better.
Yeah.
There was also an instance where I trashed this because it was inherently no counter, and all the rest of my card were 2Ks, so it made this actually like bad. Because he would be, because the number of attacks, and so I had to get rid of this. Okay. So I played it 1 game, but it does come up.
Yeah.
So
what about
trigger
Otama?
it out of life.
Did you wanted to cut a card for Otama?
So yeah, honestly, there were a couple instances where I wanted Otama. I think the biggest reason why you can't play Otama is just because like if you up your 2Ks. You have 1 searchable 2K on each, but you'd probably make some sort of compromise on that, and sometimes you need to turn that 1K into 2K. Yeah. But if I was going to play more 2Ks, I would 100% play Otama, just because we don't have removal for Kuzan, and if you can't force Kuzan to swing, you can use like Newgate to possibly remove it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's sticking. So that was the biggest downfall. Is I was like, a turn 2 Kuzan is really strong if they don't swing with it. So, but yeah.
But quickly, what were your match? What did you win against? I'm actually kind of curious what your matchups were.
Let's see. I know round 1 I lost. It was against Katakuri. Yeah. Round 2, I actually had an interesting thing. So round 2 was Sokka. I won there. Round 3 was Blurple Croc.
Oh, nice.
Did not expect that. I actually almost lost that game.
Yeah.
Because I had I got a ton of events, but I couldn't leave up Dawn, and so I didn't have a ton of regular counter because I was playing on my curve. And so until I hit like 10, I wouldn't have extra space. So I almost lost. The guy was saucy, but it just happened to work out. So I got very fortunate there, truthfully. It could have ended badly. And then round 4, I won versus Reiju. A guy actually started, he started with 2 Reijus back to back. And so he had just as many cards as I did. That was the only reason he was in the game for as long as he was, because he was rocking a strong 8 cards and some board. Yeah. And then I was like, I'm at like 7. So it was actually crazy. Round 5, I won versus Gecko. It was pretty close. Obviously with Newgate, a lot of it comes down to the final swings.
Yeah.
That's one of his charms. Unblockable Luffy, too strong.
Yeah.
Really strong versus just Sokka, Gecko. Round 6, I played Gecko. Again, Rush Luffy also came up there. Round 7, I won versus Sokka. Round 8, I won versus Gecko. It was Awakened TCG. Hurt me inside, truthfully. I was a little torn up. That was my guy. But it was nothing but love. And then round 9, I unfortunately went out, and I lost to Sokka.
Yeah. And he played the stage card, which I've been not seeing that card lately in Sakazuki. Do you agree that that card is now a staple?
I don't. I don't. I think it's really good. I think it's really good. I think stage Saka is stronger in a world where people don't play Gecko, because going Great Eruption and drawing and minusing 2, because otherwise you have to use your leader swing, which is also kind of why Newgate's good, because if you want to do the -2, you now have to commit your swing, and so you waste that against a leader like Newgate. And so that was a really big thing. I did play a non-stage Saka. I think the hybrid is honestly the way to go, because a lot of times they're trashing it for their cycle, which it gives you a card to cycle, but again, they're playing like 8 2Ks, so the 6 swings hit hard, and then they can also just get these, and it triggers, does nothing. They can, of course, still replay it, but it's just better to cycle a card.
I see. Does the stage affect Whitebeard at all? That matchup specifically? The
great thing about this is if they're not playing stage on the turn, they're only minusing 2. And so they have to play another card, since we're playing 5 drops and 7 drops. So unless it's Ice Age, if they want to remove like a 5 cost, they have to commit another card. They have to commit a leader swing, which possibly includes Dawn, and then on top of that, they use stage, so it's only -2. They have to get it down just a little bit more, so it's right at that sweet point, because Gecko, you have the 4 drops, easy for them to remove. And it's great into Gecko, I think, if you know what you're doing. But yeah, with Whitebeard, you got those 5 costs, and it's just that nice sweet spot. That makes it just a little bit harder for them to remove and get that Hound Blaze value.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate the deck profile, and really congratulations to taking Whitebeard.
But yeah, Whitebeard was the talk of the town. There were a couple here, but yeah, I almost went all the way.
But so congratulations, and I hope you actually top 32 instead of 64.
All right, thank you.
All right, peace out.